Students, in the present session, I'll cover local replication strategies. So first we'll take what is the meaning of local replication. Local replication refers to replicating data within the same array or in the same data center. Remote replication refers to replicating data at a remote site. So in the replication strategy, we'll be having two types. One is local replication and other one is the remote replication. In the case of local replication, source as well as target will be located within the same data center or within the same array. But in the case of remote replication, which refers to replicating data at a remote site. So in this video, I'll explain major details about various local replication technologies along with restore and restart considerations. Now we'll consider some basic terms like source, target, as well as recoverability and restartability. So first take what is the meaning of a production host. So I'll be having a single host, I'll be having one single host, and this host is accessing the data from the storage array. So storage array in the sense it consisting of few LUNs. And so this host is called as production host. So this is called as production host. The host which is accessing the data from the storage array, that means the host which is accessing the data from the LUNs or more than one LUNs within the storage array is called as production host. And these LUNs are called as either the production LUNs or source LUNs or else simply a source. Simply a source. So next we'll take what is the meaning of target. A LUN or group of LUNs on which the production data is replicated. So either single LUN or group of LUN on which the production data can be replicated or copied is called as the target LUN or simply the target or replica. So while replicating the data on the target, so we can consider either point in time, that is PIT, point in time copy, or else we can consider contiguous replication. So in the case of point in time copy, always we have to mention the duration at which the replication need to be considered. But in the case of continuous replication, whenever there is a modification comes with respect to the source, the same modification need to be updated on the replica also. So replica can be either point in time copy, that is PIT, or continuous copy. So next we'll take recoverability and restartability. So what is the meaning of recoverability? Recoverability enables restoration of data from the replica to the source if the data loss or corruption occurs. So for example, if I am having one source, if I am having one replica. So both source as well as replica are located within the same site or within the same data center. So this is nothing but source. So this is nothing but target. Because of some disaster, occurrence of any disaster, so I cannot or host cannot access the data from the source. So at that instant, the data can be recovered or restored by considering the data from the replica. So that is called as recoverability. Recoverability is nothing but restoration of data from the replica to the source. So that is data restoration. Restoration of data from the target to the source. So that is called as recoverability. So next we will take what is the meaning of restartability. Restartability enables restarting business operations using replica. So obviously I am having the target or replica. Target is nothing but replica. So we have to start the business operations. So we have to start business operations using the replica during the occurrence of any disaster. So that is called as restart ability. That is called as restart ability. So next we'll take uses of local replication. So one or more local replicas of the source data can be created for various purposes, like alternate source for backup, fast recovery. So we'll take what is the meaning of alternate source for backup. So under normal backup operations, data is read from the production volumes or LUNs and written to the backup device. So while taking the backup operations, the data can be taken from the production volumes and it will be copied into the backup device. So this places additional burden on the production infrastructure as production LUNs are simultaneously involved in some other work, that is involved in production work. So if you are considering backup operation, so the data need to be copied into the backup device. So instead of that, I can make use of replication. So that is nothing but the replication is called as alternate source for backup. So it can avoid unnecessary burden on the production infrastructure. So next we'll take fast recovery. So in the event of partial failure, during the occurrence of partial failure of the source or data corruption, a local replica can be used to recover lost data. So during the occurrence of any either partial failure of the source, or the data is corrupted, whatever the data is present within the source, it's already corrupted. In such instance, we can make use of local replica in order to recover the lost data. So in the event of complete failure of the source, suppose complete source data is corrupted. So at that instant, the replica can be restored to a different set of source device. So once again, from the replica, we can regenerate or recreate the source device. In either case, this method provides faster recovery and minimal RTO compared to the traditional restore from tape backups. So if you are restoring the data from the tape drives, so it takes longer time in order to get back the original data. So I can say that the local replication method is an alternative approach which will recover the data very quickly, as well as it will minimize RTO compared with the traditional strategies. In many instances, business operations can be started using the source device before the data is completely copied from the replica. So next we'll take decision support activities such as reporting. So running the reports using the data on the replica greatly reduces the IO burden placed on the production device. So I'll generate, so obviously I'll be having two same set of data. So one will be the source, one will be the replica. So whatever the reports, or suppose I want to take some decision support activities, so I have to generate the reports with respect to the source. So instead of generating the reports with respect to source, so we can consider replica, because so this data as well as target data both are one and the same. So we can make use of replica to generate any decision support reports, so that we can avoid unnecessary burden, that is IO burden, on the production device or production host. So next is testing platform. So a local replica can be used for testing critical business data or applications. For example, when planning an application upgrade, it can be tested using the local replica. If the test is successful, it can be restored to the source volumes. So testing, similarly the report generation, so we can perform any kind of testings on the target instead of on the source, so that we can avoid unnecessary burden or unnecessary burden on the source. So suppose if we want to upgrade any applications, so such applications can be tested on, it can be tested on the target instead of the source. So if it is successful, we can implement it on the source as well. So next comes data migrations. So local replication can also be used for data migrations. So we can also use local replications for data migrations. Data migrations may be performed for various reasons, such as migrating from smaller learns to the larger learn. So suppose I want to transfer the entire data from the smaller learn into the large capacity LAN. So that is nothing but data migrations. So at that instant also we can make use of data migrations from the local copy or from the target into the larger LAN. So instead of directly copying the data from the source. Local replication technologies. So basically we are having two major technologies under local replication. First one is host based replication and the second one is storage based replication. So again, host based replication is subcategorized as file system replication and LVM based replication. So host based replication is further classified as file based replication and LVM based replication. So under storage based replication, replication can be implemented with distinct solutions, namely full volume mirroring, pointer based full volume mirroring replication and pointer based virtual replications. The storage based replication is subcategorized as full volume mirroring, pointer based full volume mirroring, that means mirroring in the sense replication, and pointer based virtual replications. So first we'll take host based local replication. So in the case of host based local replication, the logical volume manager, that is LVMs, or the file system performs the local replication process. So in the case of host based replication, so I have to use LVMs, logical volume manager, or else the file system, will perform the replication process. So LVM based replication and the file system snapshots are examples of host based local replications. So first we'll consider LVM based replication. So in the case of LVM based replication, logical volume manager is responsible for creating and controlling host level logical volumes. So in the case of LVM based replication, LVM, that is logical volume manager, is responsible for, in order to create as well as control the host level logical volumes. So the entire replication process is controlled by a single manager, that is logical volume manager. So logical volume manager need to create as well as control host level logical volumes. So in the case of LVM mirroring, we can observe that we are having the logical volume. So this is the logical volume and we are having two physical volumes. So those two physical volumes are named as PV1 as well as PV2. So now an application writes to a logical partition is written to two different physical partitions. So here we are having at the logical volume, we are having the LVM device driver. So here we are having LVM device driver. So this LVM device driver will copy the data, into the physical volume 1 as well as physical volume 2. So that means we are maintaining the mirrored copy at the physical volume levels. So mirrors can be split and data contained therein can be accessed independently. So now the host can access the physical volume 1 as well as physical volume 2 independently. So while adding the physical volumes, so we can add or else we can remove the physical volumes dynamically. So this is nothing but LVM based mirroring. In the case of LVM based mirroring, an application writes to a logical partition is written to two different physical partitions by the LVM device driver. So the LVM device driver will copy the data from the logical partition into two different physical partitions. So this is known as LVM mirroring. Mirrors can be split and the data contained therein can be independently accessed. So the data present within physical volume 1 as well as physical volume 2 can be accessed independently. LVM mirrors can be added or removed dynamically. So we can the LVM mirrors or that means the physical volumes can be removed as well as added dynamically. Next we'll take advantages of LVM based replication. So LVM based replication technology is not dependent on vendor specific storage system. So typically LVM is part of operating system and no additional license is required to deploy LVM mirroring. So while performing LVM based replication, it is not necessary to consider additional license while deploying LVM mirroring concepts. So next we'll take what are the limitations of LVM based replication. As every writes generates by an application translates into two writes. That means the LVM device driver will write the informations into two different physical volumes. So two different physical volumes on the disk. So an additional burden is placed on the host CPU. Obviously we are writing the informations twice on two different physical volumes so that it may cause additional burden on the host CPU. So this can degrade the application performance. Obviously the application performance will be reduced. So presenting an LVM based local replica to the second host is usually not possible because the replica will still a part of the volume group. So which is usually accessed by one host at any given time. So suppose the physical volume is already accessing by the single host, so we cannot present the same host to physical volume to the second host. Tracking changes to the mirrors and performing incremental synchronization operation is also challenges as all LVMs do not support incremental resynchronization. So the major challenge here in the case of LVM based replication is synchronization. Whatever the data is present within the volume group, so some same data need to be replicated on the physical volumes. So whenever the new upgradation, any modification comes with the physical volume, so we have to update it on the any upgradation comes with respect to the volume group, so we have to update the same on the physical volumes. So but while writing we have to write twice. So these are the major limitations of LVM based replication. So if the devices are already protected by some level of RAID on the array, then additional protection provided by the local replication is not necessary. So already if you are implemented RAID levels, so in order to provide the protection, additional security if you are considering with respect to LVM based mirroring, it's of no use. I can say that it is unnecessary. So this solution does not scale to provide replicas of federated databases and applications. Both the replica and the source are stored within the same volume group. So therefore, if the replica itself may become unavailable if there is an error in the volume group. So I'll maintain the replica as well as source within the same group, right, within the same data center, because it is local. So now suppose any disaster comes with respect to the site, local site, so I cannot recover the data from the source as well as I cannot recover the data from the target. So the replica itself may become unavailable if there is an error in the volume group. If the server fails, both source and replica are unavailable until the server is brought back online. File system snapshot. So in the case of file system snapshot, the snapshot can be implemented by either the file system itself or by the LVM, that is Logical Volume Manager. It uses the concept of copy on first write. So it uses the copy on first write principle. When the snapshot is created, a bitmap and block maps are created in the metadata of the snapshot file system. So now we'll take what is the meaning of bitmap. So bitmap is used in order to keep track of blocks that are changed on the production file system after the creation of the snapshot. So suppose if you're having some set of blocks, within the source, so suppose these are the blocks. So I'll take the snapshot. So this is the snapshot now. After taking the snapshot, suppose any blocks are modified. So at that instant, so we are using a bitmap. In order to keep track of blocks that are changed on the production file system after creation of the snapshot. So now the block map is used to indicate the exact address from which the data is to be read when the data is accessed from the snap file system. So immediately after the creation of the snapshot, all reads from the snapshot will actually be served by the reading the production file system. So the block map is used in order to identify the address. So the block map consisting of the address or exact address from which the data can be read out. So in order to read the data from the snapshot file system, the bitmap will be consulted. Suppose the bitmap value will be either 0 or 1. So if the bitmap value is 0, that means the read is directed to the production file system. So if the bitmap value is 0, then the read operation can be directly performed to the production file system. So if the bitmap is 1, if the value of bitmap is 1, then the block address is obtained from the block map. So already the block map will be having the address. So whenever the bitmap value is 1, the block map will be consulted in order to get the address, and data is read from that address. So whenever the bitmap value is 0 means direct read operation. Whenever the bitmap value is 1 means we have to consult the block map to get the address, and after that the read operations can be performed. So next we'll take the second strategy of local replication. So that is storage array based local replication. So in the case of storage array based local replication, replications can be performed by the array operating environment. So the array operating environment is the responsible one in order to perform the replication process. Source and replica are located within the same array. So we are having different types of storage array based replications like full volume mirroring, pointer based full volume replication, pointer based virtual replication. So we can observe that this is nothing but the storage array. So within the storage array we can locate both source as well as replica. So the host which is accessing the data from the source is called as production host, and the BC host, that is business continuity host, can access the data from the replica. So but the production host cannot access the data from the replica. So first we'll take full volume mirroring, which is the source is attached to the target. So attached means source is attached to the target. Source is attached to the target. So target is a full physical copy of the source device. The target is attached to the source and data from the source is copied to the target. So target is unavailable when it is attached. The target device is as large as source device, good for full backup, decision support, development, testing and restore to the last point in time copy. So here we can observe that the production host, the source as well as target both are attached here, but even if the target is directly attached to the source, initially whenever the production host can directly access the data from the source and whenever the replication is taking place, whenever the local replication is taking place with respect to source and the target, so at that instant the BC host cannot access the informations from the target. So when exactly the replication process is completed, then only the BC host can access the data from the target. So the target device is as large as source device because I have to copy all the data into the target device. So next we'll take full volume mirroring. So that is, it is not attached, that means detached one, the source and the target. So here we can observe that there is no direct connection between source as well as the target. So after synchronization, target can be detached from the source and made available for BC operations. So here whenever the local replication is completed, the source as well as target, there is no contact between source as well as the target, so that the BC host can directly access the target. So point in time copy is determined by the time of detachment. So after detachment, resynchronization can be incremental. Only updated blocks are resynchronized. So here we are taking point in time copy, so that is PIT. So in this case, after detachment, suppose any updations comes with respect to the source. So with respect to the source, instead of replicating entire source again to the target, will check the updated blocks or modified blocks. So those blocks will be replicated on the target, on the respective target. Only updated blocks are resynchronized. So no need of synchronization of entire blocks. So only updated blocks can be copied. So modified blocks are tracked using bitmaps. So we are using bitmaps in order to track the modifications with respect to the blocks. So next we'll take pointer based full volume replication. So it is an alternative approach for full volume mirroring. So that is pointer based full volume replication. So like full volume mirroring, so this technology can provide full copies of the source data on the target. So in the case of full volume mirroring, what we have done, we kept the full copies of source on the target. So instead of that, the target is made immediately available at the activation of the replication session. So one need not wait for the data synchronization to and detachment of the source and the target in order to access it. So in the case of full volume mirroring, the target is made immediately available. In the case of full volume mirroring, the target is immediately available at the activation of the replication session, that is PLT. So hence one need not wait for the data synchronization. Already we have maintained the replicated copy as well as the source copy. So and the detachment of source and the target, the BC host can directly access the target. So the diagram shows copy on first access, write to source. So we are having three major steps here. The first one is host writes new data to source. The second step is original data is copied from source to the replica, and the third step is new data is updated on the source. So when write is issued to the source for the first time after replication session is activated, initially the original data at that address is copied to the target, then the new data is updated on the source. So that means, so initially whenever any new data comes, any upgradation comes, what we are doing is initially the original data at that address will be copied into the target. Original data from the source is copied into the replica or into the target. So then the new data will be updated on the source. So this ensures that the original data at the point in time copy of activation is preserved on the target. So we maintain the original data at the replica, and there is a upgradation comes. That means there is a new data is written into the block with respect to the source. So this will ensure that the original data will be preserved at the target at the point in time of activation at the target level. So this is the concept of copy on first write, that means write to source. Initially the source will be replicated into the target, and suppose any new data is updated on the source, that will ensures that before modification of the block we preserved one copy at the target or replication device.